All right, Shalom, Yashrala. This your brother Dawada coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, I can push this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So we're going to try to re-record this here lesson, but this is a follow-up to a video I tried to do the other day, but the spirit, turned it a little bit different as far as, Esau getting his judgment. The other video was about Esau getting his judgment. There was no escaping for those things. All right. But, trying to record that video, was going to be about this here video that I came across. All right. But, hey, the spirit just, led in a different direction and a different lesson came out. But I wanted to do this here video based off of this here, this here video. In fact, let me grab a precept real fast. Proverbs 1. And let's see if we can find this precept real quick. Actually, well, this is one of them, but let me, it says it a little bit better somewhere else. Let me grab this precept real quick. Isaiah, what is it, 66:4. Yeah. All right. Now, ultimately, this is falling up, it's going to fall upon Jake. All right. But one of the things that, to bring out upon these things, is like the scripture say, the Lord was going to take these curses off of us and put them onto our enemies. All right. And let me read this verse real quick. It says Isaiah 66:4. It says, and I will choose their delusions and I will bring their fears upon them. All right. That's the point I wanted to grab, to bring their fears upon them. It says, because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. They did not hear, but did evil before my eyes and chose that which I delighted not. Now, again, this is being spoken to Jake. But, as far as, the Lord putting these curses on Esau, even though the Lord didn't call Esau, but the point that I wanted to grab was, it says, I will also choose their delusions and bring their fears upon them. So going into the fact of, we can go back and read that Proverbs now. Was it 1 and 24? Verse 26. It says, Proverbs 1 and 26. It says, I will also laugh at your calamities, and I will mock when your fear cometh. Where your fear cometh is a desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, and distress and anguish cometh upon you. All right. And the point I wanted to grab here was that the Lord was going to choose their delusions and choose their judgments and things like that. And one of the things that, and the Lord was going to bring their fears upon them. Now, one of Esau's biggest fears, now going back to, again, this was spoken to us first, and you think about what our biggest fears was, when we get proud and everything else like that, what happened unto us would happen unto us. Like, what is that? Deuteronomy chapter 32 says that the Lord was going to turn his back on us to see what our latter end would be. All right. Now, hey, for Esau, that's almost a big fear upon himself. All right. Because he's got this pride upon him, thinking that he was going to, like the last video, he was going to go altogether unpunished. He thought that these things were going to come down upon him. He's seen what the Most High done unto us. But, hey, one of his biggest fears and his delusions that they feared that would come true upon them is that the Lord would judge them the way that the Lord judges us. All right. Now, and again, something spiritual with this here video play. All right. Going into these things that didn't happen unto us that's now falling upon Esau. You got to go back into the time frame where, they would not show, like the scripture also say, they weren't going to show favor to the young or the old. All right. And, all the different atrocities that didn't happen to our people at the hands of them. All right. Like there's an instance where you get, a term. Well, we'll speak about that in a sec. But you have all these other scenarios. Let's just say the Emmett Till and everything else like that. They weren't showing favor to the young or the old. You can look up old photographs of them hanging our people from trees. They have that song. Kanye remade one called Blood on the Leaves. But the song is called Strange Fruit by Nina Simone. All right. And she sings in that song. You look up that song and listen to the lyrics to that song. It's called Strange Fruit. All right. She's singing about, the hanging bodies hanging from the trees. All right. How they lynched us and how the animals was picking at our flesh. All right. And just eating us. And they used to leave our bodies out there for the animals just to feed off of us, man. All right. So, hey, you go into our history and think, now people, like how Proverbs 1 and 26 says, I will also laugh at your calamities and I will mock when your fear cometh. Now, you come newly into this and you'll see certain videos about certain things and you'll see, the men of the Lord that's out there making light of judgment, laughing when judgment take place and everything else like that. But you have to understand, man, we know a whole lot more. We coming from a different kind of context. We're not just some sick individuals that's over here just laughing at crazy shit like that going on. But it's the fact of the matter. It's like, karma. And one thing I found out about a lot of the men of the Lord, we all have this little, in our folly time, we watch on YouTube certain videos, that instant karma videos, judgment videos. When you see people, and bad drivers of America type thing. You see people getting in accidents doing dumb shit, and then all of a sudden they get judgment put on their ass, man. You see somebody doing something stupid, then all of a sudden, boom, judgment hit their ass, right? But and that's something spiritual of the Lord because, or the men of the Lord, because they just like seeing judgment come to pass, man. It's like that sweet revenge that, like those videos are titled Instant Karma. But hey, whenever, we laugh at these things, it's because we know in the spirit all these different things, like the scripture say, reward her double as she rewarded you. You know what I'm saying? Now, in a normal sense, you don't really want to see anybody getting, so-called effed up here and there. But, it's just like that bully that's been messing with everybody the whole time. And all of a sudden, he get himself knocked out. You ain't want to see nobody get knocked out. But then when Debo get knocked out, the whole hood start cheering because he didn't knock everybody else out in the hood, right? So, hey, when the Lord put the spirit on the men of the Lord to be bringing up certain things, and you see them, laugh, because I know that's a stumbling block for a lot of people whenever we be saying certain things or seeing judgment. You see us on the highways and the byways and somebody catch judgment and, the whole camp call, oh, yeah, I'm shy and be, hey, praising the Lord when judgment go forth. But, hey, you got to think about it. We know more about, our history than people just coming into this here truth. All right. So, you wouldn't really think about the certain things like, when they was cheering for, like, let's just say, with your boy, Emmett Till, or matter of fact, in a recent time, what was that boy's name? Ahmaud Arbery. All right, how those Edomites chased that boy down and they was cheering. Think about the chanting and cheering they was doing when they was in the back of them pickup trucks, running him down and shooting him and circling him around and everything else like that. That was just just the same thing that was going on back in the olden days, but just in the modern times. All right, and Esau with his canine dogs, he be sicking his dogs on you and everything else like that. Get a boy, go get a boy. This and that, man. And the dog be ripping into your flesh and everything else like that, man. All right, hey, Esau, it ain't changed. Nothing changed with Esau, man. All right, the only thing that changed with Esau is the damn date on his paycheck. All right, other than that, it's the same damn spirit that he got on himself, man. All right, now the scenario I was going to bring up was you have these two football teams here, or two college football teams here in Florida. The Florida Gators and the Florida Seminoles. All right, the Seminole Indians would basically be like the tribe of Reuben. All right, but you have the Florida Gators, and they have a long-standing football rivalry and things like that. But one of the things that they say, the Florida Gators, little sayings that they have is called Gator bait. Oh, you Gator bait! You'll see them riding around their little bumper stickers saying Gator bait here and there, here and there. But most people don't know where these terms come from. Just like the term barbecue and picnics and things like that. These are all racial slurs because this is what they used to do to us, man. They would go around and they would pick a nigga out. All right, now we have pictures of these things where they have like a whole crowd of all these damn Edomites standing around, the little kids smiling and cheesing. This, you get the term of like Instagram and shit like that nowadays from that, man. Sending people pictures and postcards, because you got to go back, you have, what does Instagram really derive from in modern day time, man? People sending each other postcards. What do they show on Instagram? They show you the highlight reel of your life. People are showing all the good things. This is where I'm on vacation at. This is what I'm eating. This is what I'm doing. This is who I'm hanging out with. We going hunting. Let me look at the animals I done killed. But back in the olden days, what they would do was, we got pictures of these things, man. You see it on some of the signs where you see a crowd of Edomites standing around, smiling with their kids and everything else like that. And they got some jakes hanging in the tree, or they didn't set them on fire and everything else like that. And they would take pictures of these things and send them to one another as postcards. All right. And again, it was a postcard. If you old enough to remember, before camera phones and everything else like that came out, what you would do, you might go on a road trip with your family. All right. You go to a new place. Let's just say you from somewhere else and you come to Florida. You send them a postcard from Florida, welcome to Florida, or greetings from Florida. You would send it to your family members, and you know what I'm saying? They would say, oh, this is where we went to Florida or something like that, right? Showing the good times where you was at. Nowadays, what do people do? All right, they go on vacation. What do? They start posting on the little Instagram and the Facebook. Oh, this is when I was in so-and-so place, this place or that place and everything else like that. Or this is when I met so-and-so. But then you also have like that demonic ass spirit where they created a World Star Hip Hop, man. And you see a lot of, and not just there, you got other websites as well too. But what do you see really going on World Star, man? That catchphrase, somebody scream out World Star. Somebody either already got knocked out or they about to get knocked out whenever you hear that phrase being thrown out there like that, man. So you're seeing people and they're hurt, their trauma, their pain. All right. But then you go into these things, like I said, all that really derives from Esau. doing these things into our people, right? And now going back to these football teams, with the gator bait and everything else like that, man. We even have signs with that on there, imagery of that. You can even type that in it on Google Images, gator bait, feeding children to alligators, man. They have postcards and cartoons of these things and everything else like that, feeding little Negro children unto alligators and things like that, all right? To catch alligators, man, and so they can wear they gator boots, gator belts, and gator purses and things like that, man. All right, so hey, this is a mockery unto us, man. All right, but they used to, like I said, they used to lynch us and leave us out in the field for the crows and the wolves and all kind of animals to pick at our flesh, man. They used to just feed us to these damn animals. But hey, the spirit of the Lord is now, look, again, like I said, their delusions being brought upon them. Their biggest fears is what the Lord would do unto them, what they've done unto us, or what they was allowed to do unto us. All right, they, just think about that. The worst thing in the back of these Edomites' minds is that they'd wake up to be actually, like they got to say, everybody want to be a nigga till it's time to be a nigga, man. All right, they all want to be Jake and be hip hop like Jake they getting profiled by the police, stop and frisk. That's when you hear them all, oh, this is wrong, this is that, when they being treated like a real Jake, man. But how much more when the Lord bring this judgment down upon them, man? All right, hey, but look, the Lord, like the prior video, they're not going to go unpunished, man. The Lord's going to actually punish them. Let me grab this precept in Job. What is it, Job 27, like 13, I think it is. Yep, Job 27 and 13 says, this is the portion of a wicked man with the Most High and the heritage of oppressors. All right, and aren't we still in the hands of our oppressors? It says, which they shall receive of the Almighty. All right, and this is again one of Esau's biggest fears. All right, Esau's biggest fears when you see about this Hebrew, what they call this, black identity extremist type thing or whatever they call us, man. All right, the biggest fear with them is, it's not it's like what they want. It's the biggest, wet dream that they have is that we would raise up against them carnally so that they can be justified in what they're doing. But hey, if you really, in this here thing, if you really a man of the Lord, or you really in this here truth, spiritually in this here thing, man. All right, then that we not the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. All right, we're not in this for a carnal fight. That's Esau's fight, man. This is a spiritual fight, man. The only thing that we're doing against Esau is prophesying against him, speaking out against him, prophesying and reading the scriptures against him, man. We're not physically raising up against him. We're not physically tearing down this economy or this country or doing any kind of destruction out here, man. The worst thing that we doing, if anything, if Esau was to really be honest about these things, if it wasn't for the us prophesying about him cutting him to his spirit, he would say that we way better citizens. He might be a little bit different because he wanted to actually throw us in jail. So he probably would want us to be out there selling dope to our brethren and everything. But you think about it in a so-called righteous sense, we actually way better citizens than the rest of our people because of why? We not out here selling drugs, doing a whole bunch of crazy shit. We all got jobs and everything else like that. So, hey, man, what can you really say about us, man? We're not out here causing no crime or no, we're not the ones breaking in and doing liquor store runs and everything else like that, man. All right, the men of the Lord are actually, how they say, outstanding citizens of America. All right, but hey, his biggest wet dream is that we would actually, raise up in arms in the name of, being men of the Lord. All right, and go against him so he could point out the finger. Aha, I told you these guys was extremists and everything else like that. But hey, guess what? It's the Most High that's bringing these things down upon them. All right, let me read that again. Job 27:13. This is the portion of the wicked man with the Most High and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty. So, hey, we not out here doing all these things to them, man. All right, we didn't go over here and take their children like you're going to see in this here video. We didn't take their children and feed them to no damn bears and nothing like that. Like they took our children and fed us to alligators, man. The Lord is the one who raised up the spirit to put this here bear to go out there and attack these damn children, man, or this child. All right, the Lord is the one that's causing them to, all these different judgments is going down upon them. You see, like, again, I'll laugh at your calamities when they come. Again, like when the men of the Lord see certain things, we think back to certain spiritual things. But man, that had to be the Most High that had put the spirit on X, Y, and Z. For you to get mangled up like that, bro, the Most High really had it out for you. We be saying shit like that, man. Because you see certain things, he's like, yo, that wasn't just nobody winds up in the spirit realm by accident. We all know that. But at the same time, you see certain things that it just bring to your mind, like that was just straight judgment from the Lord, man. You see certain things that the Lord had to put that spirit on you to bring you onto that or to do these certain things unto you, man. All right. It says, this is the portion of the wicked man, of a wicked man with the Most High and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. And hey, there ain't nothing to really be able to pay these people off. You have or no amount of money to satisfy them in a lot of these things. You see a lot of these people, these Edomites nowadays, their birth rates are declining. All right, the children that they are having birth defects and all kind of different ailments and things like that, man. They could be of such a high stature and have all this kind of money, but look, they roll up with that wheelchair with the little ramp and everything else like that, man. All right, they gotta have, their children have special needs and all these different things, man. So the Lord is bringing these curses down upon them, man. All right, they're not so-called having, it's hard for a lot of them to get pregnant and things like that, man, making them barren. All right, so hey, you see a lot of these different things falling down upon them, and again, we're not the ones doing these things to them. The Most High is doing these things into them, man. All right, it says if his children be multiplied, it is for the sword. You got this big epidemic that's going on here in Babylon. All right, where the most dangerous place for your kids to be, the most dangerous place for your kids to be is in a damn school, man. All right, because these Edomites is going to school and they offing everybody else, children and everything else like that, man. All right, now you just had this one scenario. Apparently, it was a Jake, but hey, it is what it is. Jake. Sometimes a lot of most damn near every time Jake be having a so-called motive, it's somebody that did something to him and he gonna go get his so-called revenge on them. That's different than Esau just waking up one morning because his mama didn't let him get no Cheerios and go to school and just off every damn body. All right, but nevertheless, uh, this also is a curse upon them, man. How you in your damn kingdom and you got your own people that's offering your children? Again, like I said, you ain't got to worry about us doing anything to you, man. You got to worry about sending your kid to school, when them private schools, them good schools, them schools in the so-called affluent neighborhoods where it ain't a bunch of janks. See, these little Edomite kids ain't getting beat up and bullied and attacked by a whole bunch of Jake kids in these schools, man. These kids is getting laid out with an AR-15 by another Edomite kid, man, that took it from his father. His father's sword came to the school and chopped them damn down, man. All right, so hey, this is that judgment that's going forth from the Lord, man. All right, this is Isaiah 14 and 21. It says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. All right, so hey, not just the actual children, but these you are who your fathers are. All right, so this here generation of them, you see a lot of them, like I said, catching this here judgment and things like that, man. Hey, you getting paid back for the things you've done unto us. All right, separating the families and things like that, and feeding us off to all kind of animals, lynching us, burning us, and all these crazy things going on. And you starting to see all these different wild, bizarre judgments that's going forth, man. All right, verse 22: for I will raise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, the remnant, the son, and the nephew, saith Yahweh. Now, one of the most, in another precept, or another two precepts, the Lord was going to take the curses off of us and put them on our enemies. But a precept that goes along with that is that they was going to make you a byword and a proverb, right? Now, it says here, for I will raise up against them, saith Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, and remnant, and son, and nephew. So one of the worst things, damn near the worst things you can be called here in Babylon nowadays is basically Edomite man. All right, not to say, not using that term, but a so-called white man. Oh, he got his own women calling him out like that. Don't want to be this and don't want to be that, man. So, hey, what are you seeing happening with their whole, lineage and everything else like that, man? All right, it's being abhorred in this here place, man. All right, that's the worst thing that you could be called out here in this scenario, man. You have a lot of those Edomite women, whether they actually, 9 times out of 10, they're not even Edomite women. They probably Jake women that look like these Edomite women that's now all of a sudden, turning against a man like that. But hey, even still, you even have some of them damn Edomite women turning on their own man. All right, but hey, the Lord is making them, or so-called white man, being a byword and a proverb out here, man. Oh, the so-called white man, this and that. You seeing them complaining about they can't even get a job when they fill out their application. They find out they're a white man. Back in the olden days, if you had a name like Daquan, Rashawn, Jaquan, or something like that, and you put that shit on the application, they wasn't calling you back, man. You could have put in the same identical application, but one name was Deshaun or Daquan or something like that. And you put in another application, and your name was like Timothy. All right, with the same credentials, they was gonna give you a call back on Timothy's application, but not Daquan, right? But now all of a sudden, these are things we gotta meet our so-called quotas and bring in more of these quote-unquote minorities and everything else like that. So, hey, Esau as a whole, the male, lineage of them is being cut off in total. All right, but nevertheless, the point I wanted to grab here was the fact that the Lord was bringing down judgment upon them. All right, from the head to the tail, from the eldest to the youngest, man. All right, you seeing all these different judgments and things going out, man. All right, let me grab another precept real quick. We'll get to this video eventually. Lord's will, maybe not. But Sirach 40 is what I'm looking for. Um, Sirach 40 and 9, it says, Sirach 40 and 8, it says, such things happen unto all flesh. Give me 1 second. There was a precept had in my mind. The Lord's will come back to me. Oh, yeah, let me get this precept first. Let me find it in Second Esdras 9. Let me look for this precept, because I was going to make a point about hang on 1 second. All right, here we go. This is the point I wanted to make. Second Esdras 9 and 22, it says, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant for with great labor have I made it perfect. The point I wanted to grab was that let the multitude perish, which was born in vain. So, hey, going back to if a seed be multiplied, it is for the sword. The point I wanted to grab with that is, hey, man, going back to the curses that fell upon Jake. There was generations that was born of our people, man. That was, that a lot of our people, hey, a lot of our people at a certain point in time was just born just for judgment, man. You think about it, coming over here in the middle passages and things like that, man. How many, old, young, and everything else like that. Some of them wasn't even that old to live a whole long life, but in those points of times, if he was chained up to certain people or to a group of people, and one of y'all jumped off, a lot of y'all might have went alongside with them, man, because you chained to them, and it's just like, yo, man, y'all getting pulled up off the boat. All right, and again, they was taking our children and doing all kind of things to our people, man, just burning them, and lynching them. All right, just for a so-called sport, man. Going back to the so-called Instagram and things like that, the images that they would sit there and take of our people. All right, they would do this to the elderly and the young, man. All right, they would do certain things to just the young kids just because, man. All right, you see like with Jake, you see some of these kids that's being born, all right, and then want to be slaughtered at a young age, like the Tamir Rice and everybody else like that, even younger than that, man. And you be like, damn, what did they do? But the scripture say, whoever perished being innocent, all right. But hey, this says, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, all right. And from our perspective, they were born in vain. But on the flip side, hey, in the spiritual scenario, hey, they was born just to be judged, all right. So you see a lot of these different scenarios. So again, like with going into these little children and stuff like that that's getting off in these schools and everything. Oh, in the third grade in elementary school, that's so sad. This and that. Hey, really, they was born in vain. They was born just for the sword. All right, like the scripture say, if a seed be multiplied, it is multiplied for the sword, man. So you see all these different things that be taking place. You would think the fact that all that, it's just not fair that these things happen like that. You don't know what they did in their spirit, man. You don't know, or in their past life and everything else like that, man. These young seeds are just coming back to the earth just to be judged. You don't know that if in their life, a previous life, they just used to off all these Jake babies just at young ages and everything else like that. That never grew up. You might have had some Edomites that was like, man, I ain't never had a Jake grew up around me that past the age of 10. I always did X, Y, and Z to them. And now all of a sudden they coming into this here world at this point in time, man, just to get off like that, man. All right. And being born in vain, man. All right. And again, that's in our perspective, but in reality, being born just to be judged. All right. Let's get back to that Sirach 40. Sirach 40 and 8. It says, for such things happen unto all flesh, both man and beast, and that is sevenfold more upon sinners. All right, you're gonna catch that judgment, man. So like the previous video, you're not gonna escape that judgment, man. All right, so hey, how much more the most wicked people that has been on the face of the earth? All right, so you see these people and these things that's going on, you just thinking, oh, that was so sad how this happened and that happened. But hey, these are the descendants of the most wicked people, man. And again, you are who your forefathers are, man. So hey, again, you see some of these things like this scenario we've been watching this here video. Something happened to somebody at such a young age. You don't know, like, again, what this person being born back, they didn't live the full life beforehand. You don't know what the hell that they was doing in their prior life, man. Taking and bashing our children up against the trees and everything. They used to do that, man. That's where you get the C-sections from, man. All right, what's his name? Andrew Jackson, I believe it was, with the Trail of Tears. All right, used to march our people on the death march, and with the pregnant women, what he would do is cut their stomachs open, rip the babies out, and smash them up against the trees. That's why the scriptures say, "Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones upon the stones." Man, reward her as she rewarded you. All right, but ultimately, you don't know about who these people are that's being born in the judgments that they catching, man. You just think of it as something sad, but hey, the Most High is righteous and He's just for all the things. Like I said, ain't nobody got no accidental judgment. Most High didn't just fall asleep behind the wheel, like, oh shit, fuck, I done went to sleep in this bed and fuck this little nigga up, X, Y, and Z. No, man. The Most High is the one who created these spirits, and he how do I say? The scriptures say, to appease Him that created them, roughly paraphrasing. In fact, we'll grab that next. Sirach 40:8. It says, "Such things happen unto all flesh, both man and beast, and that is sevenfold more upon sinners. Death and bloodshed, strife and sword and calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. These things were created for the wicked, and for their sake came the flood." You know how some people, they have a saying like, man, it's like you got a black cloud over your head, man. It's like you got judgment just following you and everything else like that, man. And truth be told, and especially for Esau, like the scriptures say, don't be envious of him. It may seem like he ain't getting no judgment, but when he gonna get his judgment, how they say, when it rains, it pours, man. All right, so you see all these different things coming down upon them. Look at the state of America. Not so long ago, they was all proud, living it up, and had all these different things up on top of them. Now you seeing them what they call death by despair, man. All these things is coming down upon them. It's like too much weight for them to feel on their shoulders, and they just collapse under the pressure thereof, man. All right, it just seemed like matter of fact. Let me grab this precept, then we'll grab that. This is it verse 18, I think. No. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Sirach 39:28. It says, "There be spirits that are created for vengeance." All right, spirits that are created for vengeance. Like I said, hey, the Most High never fell asleep behind a damn wheel. And then all of a sudden, the Most High is holding back this bear from attacking your ass, this hornet's nest from stinging your ass, this goddamn alligator from attacking you or nothing else like that, man. Hey, I stumbled across this YouTube channel to be showing these little shorts where it's this Edomite couple. But and I seen a little short video where it was this Edomite lady. She was laid out up under the tree with a bunch of alligators around her. Apparently, they got like a little alligator like a little spot where, like he had a little zoo where they'd be showing off the alligators and stuff, and people were all crazy, like, oh shit, what's going on with this and that? Hey, but they're in that scenario like that where they can, have the dominion over the animals and things like that, or you see some of these damn Edomites be having, like, I seen another Edomite, she had a pet panther. All right, and you be like, damn, that goddamn thing be an HO ass. But hey, the Lord can put a spirit on these people to be able to guide these, have these animals in league with you, or He can put it to where the animals are not in league with you, man. So, like, the point I was making a little earlier was, hey, the Most High never went to sleep behind the wheel, and then all of a sudden that damn panther or some shit just attacked your ass, and he woke up, what the fuck? Oh shit, I forgot to watch the damn panther, so he wouldn't attack. No, man. This is all precision strikes, man. The Most High is got 100% accuracy. So it says there be spirits that are created for vengeance. And when you see certain people, like with your boy, they got that show about him now, Dahmer, Jeffrey Dahmer, or all these people who go do certain crazy events. People just go on just mass killing sprees, serial killers and things like that. These little children that's going up into the schools and laying some shit down. You know what I'm saying? These people that's just doing all kind of crazy shit. People that just go on, violent sprees, doing all kind of crazy shit, man. It's something that make them. You think about those people like, yo, what was this person thinking in their mind? What was going on with them? This and that. One of the things that keep Jake from doing a lot of, not just Jake, but I would think most people. All right, I like to say, man, I got shit to do today. I ain't got time to be doing all this and that. Be thinking about that. I got real nigga problems, man. We got bills and shit. We ain't got time to be planning and plotting on what I'm gonna do to the nigga over there, man. I'm worried about that shit. My life's finna get cut off, man. I'm too busy dealing with regular life and shit to go worry about plotting on your ass. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you think about the mindsets of these other people. All they do is just sit there, be planning and plotting to get all intricate with another motherfucker, man. I'm about to cut this nigga's eyes out and wear this nigga's skin and shit. Like, yo, man, you gotta think about it. That's a spirit created for vengeance, man. Those are what you call death spirits out there, man. All right, that's what the Lord created them for, man. All right, so let's read about it. It says there be spirits that are created for vengeance. So these spirits was created for one purpose, for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes, and in time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of Him that made them. So these spirits are created just to please the Most High. All right, He created them for a certain purpose. Hey, I'm gonna put y'all out there for like a so-called death squad, you know, like you see in the military and everything else like that. They got different soldiers for different things. We got the medics to go out there, go retrieve and heal the people on the field. We got the bombing squad just to go bomb. We got the extraction team just to go extract. You know, we got certain team, the sniper team. Hey, the snipers was created to go snipe some shit out, man. You know what I'm saying? Infantry was created to go and some lay some shit down. You know what I'm saying? The mortar team was created to go blow some shit up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but the Lord created certain spirits for vengeance, man. All right, verse 29, fire. All right, you see sometimes people get burnt up, you know, get in a car accident, get trapped in the car, get burnt to death, burn up in their homes while they sleeping and everything else like that, man. All right, hail. There was a video I seen not too long ago where these people was riding in their car, and all of a sudden there was a damn hailstorm out of nowhere, man. Windows was being bust out the car. It looked like they was in the middle of a goddamn gang shootout and getting their windows and shit shot out. But look, it was just hail falling from the storm, from the sky, man. Out of nowhere, you seen people out there on motorcycles and stuff getting laid the hell out, man. All right, just getting, you know, you got hailstones big enough to put dents in cars. You got somebody outside riding a motorcycle, and all of a sudden these hailstones just hit. They ain't got no protection, man. All right, you think that happened on accident, that they just so happened to be riding a motorcycle that day in that area where those hailstones started falling, man? All right, and had no protection, man. All right, because hey, in the same spot, same scenario, you could have had another person on a motorcycle, you know, no protection, nothing else like that. But as soon as the hail started coming up, they just so happened to be coming up under a bridge at that point in time, and they had enough wits. You know, the Lord put the spirit on them. Look, you're gonna be right here when this shit happen. I'm gonna make you stop. You're gonna be right here throughout the whole hailstorm. You ain't gonna get touched. But another motherfucker that's riding in a car or whatever, that shit got chopped to pieces by hailstones, man. So hey, the Lord created these spirits for vengeance, man. It says fire, hail, famine, and death. All these were created for vengeance. So hey, man, you know, you have people that starved to death. All right, you know, and just death from all kinds of different ways, plagues, pestilence, diseases. All right, you know, you see some people get put to death. There was a show they used to have called, something like A Million Ways to Die or something like that, 1,000 Ways to Die, and they would show different ways people would die of like crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, playing, let's just say hypothetically playing baseball, right? Hit the ball fly out into the field. Now the ball wound up hitting a tree. Inside that tree is a hornet's nest. Now all the hornets come out and come stinging nigga to death until he wound up dying or something else like that, man. You know what I'm saying? There's just some guy riding a motorcycle and got his mouth open and swallow a fly, start choking while he going at a high speed, fall off, slide up under a semi truck, get sliced in half or some shit like that, man. You know, all kind of crazy shit happens like that, man. Final Destination type of shit, man. All right. Verse 30 says, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and swords punishing the wicked to destruction. So all these was created for vengeance, man. All right, as a death spirit, man. So let's read that again. Sirach 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. And in a time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So these spirits were created for vengeance. It says fire, hail, and famine, and death, and all these was created for vengeance. The teeth of wild beasts, scorpions, serpents, and a sword punishing the wicked to destruction. Hey, you know, scorpions and things like that, man. I didn't know of people who, got up and went to go put on their damn boots or whatever like that, and all of a sudden they got a prick on their toenail, and all of a sudden it was a scorpion in their boot, man. All right, damn near lost their leg. Or even snakes, man. You seen the venomous snakes. I remember I was walking one day at work and almost got damn near bit by a venomous snake, man. All right, but hey, the Lord was guiding my steps and stopped me at that exact moment in time, man. Call halal how about Shimmy shot, man. All right, but hey, some people ain't that lucky, man. You could just be walking and everything else like that, and not even see the snake. He might be in the bushes beside you and see you first, man, and just strike out on your ass, man. All right. It says the teeth of wild beasts, scorpions, serpent, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. So let's watch a little bit of this here video.
Horrific attack in a Connecticut neighborhood. A 10-year-old boy mauled by a bear in his grandparents' backyard. The bear trying to drag him away.
Hey, and that right there should let you know it's a spirit of vengeance, man. A little boy playing in his grandparents' backyard, and all of a sudden the damn bear drag his ass away. All right, and, you know, that's another thing, you know, out here in Florida, man. Damn near all of these neighborhoods out here got lakes in their backyard, and a lot of them have alligators all up in the back. They be all out on the back deck. And it ain't nothing like, you know, the only thing that's kind of like protecting you from the damn alligators, sometimes they have a little small sign that say, don't feed the alligators. You know, don't go standing in the water. They have a small little sign telling you those things. But then you have kids be playing out in the backyard, don't even know it's an alligator down there and everything else like that. People, dogs get snatched up and everything else like that, man. All right, so, hey, you know, just at any point in time, man, the Lord could just, hey, you have people here that wake up and be thinking somebody breaking into their house and hearing some shit inside of the house. All of a sudden, it's a goddamn alligator in the kitchen or something like that, man. All right, you out back, and then this, you know, you got all kind of damn animals out here, coyotes and what do you call panthers and what them other cats called? These they call it bobcats and shit like that, man. You got all kind of crazy shit out here. You got even certain types of birds that'll swoop down and grab your dog up and everything else like that, man. Might even try to attack your ass, man. All right, so hey, Lord can have all these different types of animals just out in the wild, just come in and lay your ass out, man. You know what I'm saying? You could be outside walking your dog at night, you know what I'm saying, and a pack of coyotes roll up on your ass and just devour you or something like that, man. You could be out, coming into your house in the middle of at night, porch light ain't on, and all of a sudden it's an alligator sitting at your door, all right, or broke into your house in the middle of the night. You know what I'm saying? A bear break into your house in the middle of the night or something like that, and then just rip your ass apart, man. But in this case, hey, you got a little boy playing in his grandma's backyard, and all of a sudden, a bear rolled up on his ass, man. All right?
His grandfather in a wheelchair trying to fight off the bear. Here's Trevor Alt.
Tonight, that terrifying backyard bear encounter. A 10-year-old boy playing outside his grandparents' when the 250-pound black bear started dragging him away.
The bear came out of the woods.
And see, hey, again, that's a spirit created for vengeance, man. The little boy just playing. Now, I guarantee this wasn't his first time playing in that backyard. All right, he probably didn't play in his backyard his whole damn life. All right, then all of a sudden, and the grandparents, hey, it's fine. He do whatever he want to go play out in the backyard. And all of a sudden, he getting snatched up by a goddamn bear. They was thinking that if anything, he more than likely to get snatched up by a pedophile or some shit like that. But then before a bear, that'd probably the last thing they had on their mind. Their grandkid get snatched up by a bear. But look, lo and behold, it's a goddamn bear snatching up your child. And what the hell do you really do? What the, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they're gonna talk about the granddad, but like, look, hey, either me or him finna get fucked up today. Somebody getting fucked up by this bear today. You know what I'm saying? But hey, this is the spirit of the Lord, man. All right, putting that there fear in the hearts of these people, man.
Unexpectedly grabbed the poor 10-year-old, dragged him off toward the woods.
The boy's grandfather, who reported.
It ain't no poor 10-year-old, because again, like the scriptures say, prepare slaughter for their children for the iniquities of their fathers. So hey, you don't know who you was in your forecarnation, what you've done, and all these different things. But we know that it was Edomites, all right, and what they was doing to our people. All right, so hey, you never know if, as a Edomite man, he was snatching up, somebody else's grandkids from out of their arms, and somebody kids out of their arms, Jake babies out of their arms, and throwing them to alligators, feeding them to the alligators just for fun, just for, hey, we want to see what's gonna happen. We go over there and do this to that little animal, this to that animal, see how it goes. Like one of those little psychopathic children or something like that, doing something, feeding our babies to alligators for alligator bait, man. All right, feeding us to bears, feeding us to their damn dogs. You see police with their K9 dogs, sick them and go do all these different things like that just to get off on them, man. So, hey, you never know. Hey, the Lord is bringing this judgment down upon them, man. All right, now look, the grandfather probably was about to be shitting bricks, seeing his grandson getting attacked by the bear. That adrenaline kick in for him to go try to step in. But hey, that's some straight up fear, man. All right.
Reportedly uses a wheelchair, throwing this metal bar at its head.
And Pops is Meals on Wheels over there, man. This nigga in a wheelchair, man. He can't really do too much of damage, but hey, he had to do what he had to do. But hey, it wasn't really looking so good for him, man. The Lord is over here just terrifying these people, man, plaguing them in their minds. This little boy gonna have to grow up the rest of his life. We don't know how long he gonna live, but hey, he gonna have to grow up with that fear in the back of his mind. I don't want to go outside no more, man. It almost got snatched up by he did get snatched up by a bear. That's a horrible thought, man. Something horrible to be thinking about, man. The grandparents and the parents, they ain't gonna never forget that, man. That's, how they say you got traumatized, you got PTSD about certain things, hey, you what they say, what they call near-death experiences, which, hey, the Most High is he don't miss, man. So he put you in that position just to be in that position, but you get that so-called imprinted trauma in your mind from certain things like, nah, man, I know what it was like to get in a car accident and have a blowout and get flung out a window or something like that, so I don't want to go super fast on the interstate no more, man. I know that shit. You be all paranoid or shit like that happening again. So, hey, man, the rest of this little boy, now, he's still a little kid, a 10-year-old. He got the rest of his little so-called teenage years growing up and going outside and playing. That shit ain't gonna never be the same no more, man. Now, you can't go out there and play by yourself. Go play in the front yard. The family probably had to move. Or, look, my kid, let's say it's the mama's parents. The father probably like, hell no, I'm not letting my son go over to your mom and them house no more. That crazy, man, they got some crazy shit going on over there. But, hey, this could happen any and everywhere, man. All right?
And a neighbor heard the screams and managed to scare the animal back, freeing the boy, but it wouldn't go away.
in the area for now. The bear is reported to still be in the yard and aggressive at this time.
State police and wildlife officials ultimately shooting and killing the bear, as they say a booming bear population is leading to more dangerous encounters.
Hey, so think about that, man. The little boy playing in the backyard. The bear came up, snatched his little ass up. Meals on Wheels rode up on him with the damn wheelchair and hitting him with a pipe. The bear still didn't let the boy go, right? Then the neighbors heard the little boy screaming, so the little boy getting tossed up by the bear the whole damn time, right? Now, they called the police. By the time, we don't know. I mean, the police, you know how they got that little joke. They're like, yo, call the police, say some niggas is in some trouble. The police might show up 2 weeks from now, you know what I'm saying, still late. You know what I'm saying? But you say some Edomites in trouble, they would have been here yesterday. So, but we don't know how long it took for the police to get there. But the police is the one who got up on them and wound up shooting the bear and getting the bear up off the little boy. But, hey, I'm telling you now, that little boy wasn't having a fun time with that bear.
Like these.
A lot of folks are now carrying bear whistles or air horns, bear spray, things that can alert a bear to their presence. And that can...
And put that fear inside their ass, man. Now you got the whole neighborhood on watch. Oh, we got to carry this and that for the bears and everything. Normally, they be like, protect the wildlife and everything else like that, is make excuses for the bear and everything else like that. But, hey, a little Edomite child and got attacked, you know, and now all of a sudden, hey, man, we got to do something about these here bears, man. We got to keep a whistle on us or something else like that, man. But, hey, when the Most High send those spirits created for vengeance, man, there's nothing you can do about it.
Help avoid some unexpected confrontations and conflicts.
David, this child was rushed to the hospital with bite wounds to his thigh and his foot and claw wounds on his back. But
yeah. So, hey, old boy done got tore up by the damn bear, man. But the point is, with this here lesson, is that, hey, you know, for a couple points, hey, the Most High is bringing this here judgment and vengeance down on Esau. We ain't got to do nothing about it, man. All right, do nothing to them. All right, the Lord is doing it, how do I say, doing a wonderful job on him himself, man. We didn't have to go throw to nobody's child or no bears and nothing else like that. The Most High is the one that's creating the spirits for vengeance. And also, hey, let me actually close out with that, because that's another precept that kind of goes into this. What is that? Amos 5 and 7, maybe? Let's see. Nah, it's in Amos 5, though. Amos 5 and 19. All right. But this is going into a little bit of something different. I'm going to make this point off verse 19. Let me go to verse 18. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? For the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. All right. And, you know, ultimately when Jacob's trouble come, it's going to be like this. But it says, as if a man did flee a lion and a bear met him, or went into a house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. All right, so hey, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him. Now think of it, you know, I call this that final destination scripture. That little boy didn't see his so-called life flash before his eyes. He thought he was gone. But hey, now the Most High was just terrorizing your ass, and you gonna leave this here planet a different type of way. All right, you thought that your life was over right there, but no. And the Most High can have some more traumatic shit for you, man. But hey, just don't you know, oh, I had a near-death experience. No, the Most High was just ruffling up your feathers for the time being, man. All right, because hey, you thought that, you know, you so-called escaped death at that point in time. You're not escaping death, man. The Most High, hey, he 100% with his accuracy. He just sent that bear over there to toss you up for a little while and put the fear up inside of your ass, man. All right, same with Jake. You know, things will happen to Jake. Jake will get messed up by Esau and everything else like that. And then you see him a little bit later, eye poked out, missing a limb here or there, and then ultimately dying a different type of way. But hey, point here is that the Most High is bringing this here judgment down on Esau, man. There's no escaping. The curses now are falling upon him as they done unto us. So hey, just think about these things. You know, the little boy is sad this and that happened. Again, you don't know who he was in his forecarnation and what they've done, man. Think back to the alligator baiting and feeding us to all kind of animals, leaving our bodies out, you know, after lynching us, hanging us, and burning us for the wild animals to come across our bodies and everything else like that, sicking their canine dogs on us and everything else like that. Now the Most High, and this is the things they willingly done unto us, man. Now think about this: the Most High is turning up these spirits of these animals, the spirits created for vengeance, man. They own children going into schools and laying them out. See, again, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. We not the ones. Oh man, what they done to us and everything else like that. They done killed our kids and everything else like that. We finna go to their school and send our kids to school to go do this and that to their kids. No, they kids is the ones doing this to their own kids off in these schools, man. And the Lord is putting the spirit on them to go do those things, man. Take their father's sword and take it to school and start dashing them other kids into pieces and everything else like that, man. That's the most dangerous place for an Edomite child to be, around other Edomite children, man. Not Jake children. They might be a lot safer around Jake children, man. All right, the only thing they're gonna do is make fun of them and talk shit about them and everything else like that. But hey, You let little Tommy play around with little Timothy and shit like that. Little Timothy might bring the sword to school and chop little Tommy up, man. All right, so hey, this is the Lord bringing this here judgment out on Esau, man. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close out with that. Lord, when the elect was edified with this here lesson. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that taught us his truth and ever will. And salutation, much love for you. I can push this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth and endure afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah. Double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone again. Taught us his truth and rule well. Hey, shalom.